I was talking about like how I feel Shiro was a traditional carry player, and this is definitely not a hero that I expected him to play. He usually plays the hero that's more
Thank you.
slower paced. You need to farm a lot more. But this TA is a totally different hero. You wanna just get to a timing, like especially your blink, that's all timing, and then you're running at the enemy. You're trying to force objectives really early, and we shall see whether it works out for LGD. Meanwhile, Tundra
I
is
think
coming in.
they are. New is going to get scouted here. Disruption to try and set up around him. Blood right. Oh, and 5 enemy heroes surrounding the Beastmaster. He is as good as dead. It's just a question of who gets the first blood, and it's going to go to Mallorin. Perfect start right there for Tundra.
Yeah, very nicely done there. The level 1 smokes are always something Tundra is really good at. Whenever I watch all their games, they put a lot of like thought and planning to how they can get a really good level 1 smoke going.
Yeah, and just a classic combo, right? SD Bloodright to set it all up, and everything just kind of falls into place around there. We'll see if it'll allow Tundra to get an additional bounty rune. Doesn't seem to be the case. Snaking Shrine with that disruption, but 2 heroes there to secure the runes, and they'll split runes 2 apiece. Nothing to say with the cat ears, Giga Chad.
Cat ears? The headset?
Yeah, he's got the headset cat ears. Green cat ears as well.
Can you get me one?
No.
My birthday is coming up soon.
Is it really?
Well, it depends how you define soon.
I mean, they do. It is cyclical, right? Once a year. We'll see if Nothing to Say wins. Perhaps I shall ask him Nishi Mauma, as I've practiced with my cat. Skitter once again, just trying to put on the hurt as well onto New. Let's not avoid that blood right. Blood right level 1, so Skitter's got to be a little bit cautious about trading down here, but is going to be incredibly effective at least zoning away Planet and both New early on. Kill top lane though. Shiro does manage to take down Immersion. Looks like they just closed the gap on him, and the early meld catching him out of place there with the Venomous Gale.
Yeah, they are very strong at level 1. Meld, Gale, they need to wait for level 2 at least when you have a Kraken Shell, and then when the Coddle has the Chakra. They need to play a little bit more defensive in the early levels, so Immersion definitely not being careful enough.
Yeah, maybe now Shiro is going to have to pay the price. That refraction on cool, or not skilled yet, of course, as he's still level 1, but Tundra unable to really apply enough damage. Mid lane, so far so good for the Storm Spirit, by the way. Nothing too crazy here. They're both taking a fair amount of harass, as you predicted. See another Whirling Death at the ready. Like you said, you know, Nothing to Say. He's got to run in there to be able to place down the Remnants. Might have bit off a bit more than he can chew here. They have another Whirling Death in just 1 more second. Whoa! Barely alive. Winter quite literally 15 HP, and he stays alive. That is going to, of course, be really nice for Skitter, who even with level 1 thirst is already starting to rev up the engine in his Ferrari.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing with the hero, the other lanes, they're going to be doing a lot of like harassment trading, and it benefits Splitseeker so much. And in the current meta where the laning phase allows you to snowball so much, controlling the Healing Lotus, controlling the Wisdom Runes, like all this little thing matters a lot.
You know, first Lotus pools are going to spawn in 30 seconds as well. A rare objective on the side lanes, I would say, although I think maybe now with those twin gates, we're going to see more rotations. If there was a team, Windsor, that I would have to assume would be super sweaty on this new patch, it is Tundra, right? They're not at full form, of course, because they are playing with 2 substitutes for this tournament. But I'm still excited to see how they're going to be rotating and how early they decide to rotate, especially around this Tidehunter, right? And we'll see when that ends up happening.
Yeah, but first they have to ensure that they at least get a good laning face off. Shiro tried to be a little bit too greedy to get the last hit on the Centaur there. He's going to take a lot of damage.
33 being Venomous Gale just to make sure that he misses as much CS as possible. Just missed the 1. Phenomenal lane so far out from Tundra. Mid lane, we can see Nothing to Say again, trying to get a little bit more damage in. But Mallorin just starting to be a bit too tanky here with 2 points in that reactive armor. He's kind of struggling, Nothing to Say rather, to try and actually cut through all of that HP regen. And not a full level advantage, but a little bit of an XP advantage now swinging the way of Mallorin, given that he's got those
the
7
denies.
denies. Right.
And the Storm's gonna probably need maybe at some point one of the supports to refill his bottle. Otherwise the lane might get too difficult. Yeah, you see Mallorin trying to contest Rune. I think this is a very, very smart play. He's trying to squeeze out every little bit of advantage he can in this lane. Yeah. But on the other hand, Planet is here to salvage the mid lane.
Very good.
Gets
that
the
quick
Rune.
Little rotation down. And it's just going to force New. I mean, it does punish him a little bit more, Winter, right? You can see Skitter completely free with a full wave, given that New just has to back up. He has to concede, right? Otherwise, he just kind of dies to a disruption into the Blood Right. So recovery in the mid lane. Could be problems in the top lane. No, Tundra mentioned TP away.
Nothing to say. He's getting body blocked.
Oh, yeah. There he goes in the mid lane, dying. So the residual damage.
It's very, very nicely done by Marin. And this guy is really, really good at playing the lane with this hero. He knows his limits very well, when he should be playing aggressive, how much he can get from every bit of spell that he's casting in the lane, like getting the last hit, harassing at the same time. And I mentioned how important it is for the Storm to be shut down, and he's getting shut down right now.
He is? Yeah, you talked a lot about that control, and well, I mean, one way to control him is to just make sure he's not getting off to too crazy of a start. Shiro's getting a lot of farm. 33 also finding plenty of farm as well, and 33 is also going to be able to apply a bit more pressure. I like this build a lot. He's going for all. I'll talk about that in a second, as Planet is dropping here. 4 stacks now, 5 of the Shadow Poison will spell his death. Snaking now fighting versus 2 as Skitter waiting to deny him. Can't quite find it. New ready with the auto attacks and the axes to ensure that Skitter unable to deny his ally. They should not have a kill here, I assume. Those axes do force Skitter to pop the wand, but otherwise he's going to be A-okay here.
Yeah, he still has a Fairy Fire, and he still has the Raindrop, so he's still doing really well in this lane. And right now, Storm, he gets a bottle refill from Planet. Very, very much needed. 6-minute rune, going to be top. Shield rune. This is very good for Timbersaw, so it's going to allow him to play even more aggressive on this lane. So he's actually maxing Whirling Death in this lane. Alright.
Down bottom, New maybe in for a bit of a rough time. Through the axes before TPing away, and because he's got the full Vanguard Winter, it's an easy escape for him. He TP's back to the tower in good hands. And like you're saying, you know, this shield rune now on 9 for Mallorin, having max this Whirling Death. Look at the damage he's able to output on Nothing to Say. Who has Ball Lightning, so should not take a death here, and he won't. No,
yeah, but you're
chasing?
You're forcing him to use his mana defensively so much so it protects your side lane. This is actually really, really big for Tundra that Timber is doing so well in the beginning of the game. This Storm is going to be forced to go back to base quite a bit. And maybe it's time for him to consider, should I just let my support sit there and get XP, and I should maybe consider doing something else on the in the game.
That might be the right move. I mean, he's going to TP back in, immediately get chakrammed a bit. Fortunately, that fountain regen running is going to top him back up immediately. Winter, my question for you is, you know, you're LGD in this game, right? You're specifically Nothing to Say. What lane are you supposed to play around? Because you've got a Tidehunter in this top lane, and mid lane, you've got this Timbersaw who's nearly as unkillable, and in fact probably has more kill threat against you. What do you do?
Gank the Bloodseeker. Wait for a good rune, gank the Bloodseeker.
Well, 30 seconds out for the next rune as Snaking does take a death down bottom against 3. PSG.LGD with the numbers will eventually be able to take him down. Tundra, though, they're going to start applying more pressure up in this top lane. We just saw 33 completing his Meteor Hammer. I really like this build on Tidehunters. Gives you another farm mechanism. The stats are fantastic, and it allows you to push as well, even more so than this hero does. So, lovely start for him in that off lane. We'll see as right now Tundra with, I don't know, I wouldn't call them 2 anchors, but 2 ways for them to make a lot of space around the map.
Yeah, they kind of actually have 2 anchors with Timber and Tide on the same team. Like these 2 heroes, they like to hold a position on the map and wait for their teammates to connect to you, or just hold a position so that your opponents cannot take their part of the map. And right now, yeah, sorry. And right now, the TA, he just wants to like push out the lane and go jungle, but he's also worried about the Meteor Hammer.
Good patience there by Snaking, saving the disruption to ensure that New this time cannot TP away. Malrin is going to be able to pick up the kill down bottom. Nice job there.
It's not looking very good for LGD right now. Only the TA is having like a pretty decent game. Like the Storm and the Beastmaster, they are not really having the best of games. So they have to figure out how to try to get those heroes level 6, especially the level 6 on the Beast, so that they can rotate onto the Beastmaster's lane to kill the Bloodseeker.
Alright. Yeah, they need to, I think, what you're saying, Winter, is they need to, even though the TA is doing alright, do you think LGD's best course may be to rotate around the Beast, right? Basically.
Yeah, natural course of action. You don't want to be going to the Tides lane, you know? You want to be going to the other side of the map, and Timber is the same.
Even if you have a high damage dealing and well-farmed TA, you still think that's just not the right move to... Oh, Malrin's stealing a big stack here. That's going to be pain.
Oh my god, they're getting everything?
Yep.
Triple stack? Holy
Triple
shit.
stack, cleared out here, Malrin. I think he's going to get it all. Might
TP out?
not. They've got Shadow Poison. Yeah, he's got it. Malrin, though, might have been up a bit more than he could chew here, Winter. 11 wand charges taking down to the Gale. It's nothing to say. Zips on in. Planet eager to get a piece of that as well, but the kill ultimately going the way of Shiro. Space created, but stacks stolen here.
Yeah, I think that was actually worth it for Malrin. He got so much gold from that and XP, and he forced... It was like a 4-man... Was it 5-man? Like, maybe 4, not the Beastmaster. So his team, they got the whole part of the map. 33 is gonna secure the top tier 1 tower thanks to the space. Right. This is great, you know, for Tundra.
Yeah, that was a 5-man rotation. Beastmaster hit him with the axes as Shiro hitting the tower is going to get sent back, ruptured up, continuing to run here. Snaking looking to chase disruption, and now already that demonic purge being popped. But Shiro had a great a great Lotus rather. Not enough to get him out of this one, especially with 8 seconds left on Refraction. Skidder claims his life there with the right click. Big rotations out from Tundra. That's 5 heroes.
This is so good, you know, the way they made this rotation. So 33, he was about to get the tier 1 tower top, and then he sees the Storm TPing in front of his face. Then he immediately hides in a tree and TPs bottom right away to kill the TA, because he realizes the Storm cannot go bot.
Tundra right now out-rotating LGD. Nothing to say, trying to move around the map. Has Falcon Blade going for this Kaya, as he does try and get himself back into this game, into a playable position.
Yeah, Tundra is just the kings of moving around the map. You know, they're really good at squeezing out every little bit of efficiency, forcing you to move in ways where it doesn't benefit your farm efficiency as much, and taking advantage of it.
Speaking of farm efficiency, I mean, we're watching Malrin now clear his second triple stacks of Ancients already this game.
He's so fat.
One of them wasn't even his. This thief living the good life now. Plenty of XP, level 10 here already, as he does make his way into the Octarine.
This thief with the occult bracelet, man. This is like, this item just changes certain heroes so much, you know. It makes the hero just tip over the
scales?
The Imba scale. Like sometimes the hero just feels like okay, but with this neutral item, it becomes like a completely different monster.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a hero here with a Vanguard, which eventually is going to be disassembled with, of course, that reactive armor passive. This ought to be a quick little kill on to Why You Smile. Let's talk a little bit about that AoE effect you saw Snaking drop there. Actually, what the heck was that? What was around him? I guess that's Demonic Purge, huh? I thought that was Disseminate, but there's no point in that quite yet. Pardon me.
Normally you don't get that spell. I feel like you don't really get this spell early. You get it later. I mean, after... I'm not sure. I've seen some players, they get at least 1 point early.
I like a point early.
But I feel like I just rather... Maybe I'm wrong, but I just rather max Disruption and the Poison first. Because those are the 2 bread and butter spells that I always use.
That's true, but it is just a 20% DPS increase. You know, like that's not an insignificant number, I would argue. Especially because like even if there's just 1 unit you're hitting, it's still going to fly. 33 may be in for a rough time, but there are reinforcements now from Tundra. There's the Dispel and actually allowing 33 to avoid the Gale. Nothing to say, even haste it up, is just going to use that haste to retreat further away. But they do stop 33 from stealing at least the full stack of Ancients they had.
And yeah, just like stealing Ancient stacks left and right at this point.
That they are. I mean, especially with the Anchor Smash being refreshed, basically, thanks to almost a max Chakra Magic, it's pretty easy and quick for 33 to be able to get farmed.
The Tide also has an Occult Bracelet. How is this fair? Like those 2 heroes are just... They abuse the Occult Bracelets, stats and magic resist so much.
Yeah, he's got the passive damage block, the Kraken Shell, and now, of course, the Occult Bracelet. So,
Man, there's
tanky
also
lad.
there's like what 3 occult bracelets
What do you? Can you
on
kill him?
LGD?
I don't think you kill him here. I think you just have to let him go. It's the one that got away here for LGD.
Yeah. So by the way, there's 5 occult bracelets right now.
It's a good item.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
It's a broken item, Richie.
Immersion does manage to actually get just out of range. Nothing to say. Malrin immediately counter-initiating. There's the disruption there just to save his life a little bit longer. Nothing to say. Forced up to the high ground. Cuts the tree on his way up. That was quite wise. They did that with the ball lightning. That'll save his life for now. Bottles up the DD rune. So LGD may look to try and make use of that at a later date. But for now, their smoke is not going to pan out into anything. And I mean, Tundra, they're just getting farmed up. Shiro is at least matching them in terms of farm, does have this Blink Dagger and nearly the Deso complete, but something needs to come together here for LGD because the way Tundra are sweeping across this map now, they are moving confidently. So LGD trying to evade their grasp now. Shiro slowed to a crawl is going to be at least out of the AoE of the Blood Right. 33 now, knocking down the tower. Snaking just kind of setting off mines as he steps through looking for this kill onto Planet. It's going to be Malrin jumping on in. There's Planet now ending up going to fall. So they do commit the Rupture on him, but it's still a kill well earned there by the side of Tundra as they take down the tower as well. That's all tier 1s down already now, Winter.
Yeah, and right now 33 is going to use the Twin Gate. He's going to move towards bot. But at the same time, I guess might be a little bit of miscommunication because Marin also used his TP to go towards the bottom area. So they're wasting some farm in the mid lane.
That's right. And nothing to say, cutting waves in the mid lane here as well.
Yeah, they have to try to buy as much time as they can for their core items to come online, especially the Deso on the TA.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage there on a nothing to say. Big old Timber Chain through. Hit him with the Whirling Death, just barely lacking the damage there.
Not enough trees around there.
That's right, you need that bonus damage on Whirling Death. Absolutely. 32 bonus damage, pure bonus damage per tree. Why you smile? In for a rough time here. Does at least throw the Noxious Plague. I think this is going to be a safe snaking though. So he does pass that Noxious Plague towards his allies. Ticking down, but he's got himself that cloak, so I think he's going to be just fine here.
Oh, he has a value cloak on a support?
Yep.
Right.
Actually, both supports already having the value cloak, Winter.
Wow. All right. I mean, it's really good against both the Techies and the Venom. And this Storm.
Yeah, quite the item, especially because they casually increased, sure, the price by 300, but you do get that 5% additional magic resist, which makes a difference when you're playing against these supports like a Veno and a Techies. Makes you significantly tankier. Just like the rest of your team.
They only got it because they don't have the bracelet.
I guess so. Although hold on, I'll have to ask that hypothetical later. Nothing to say. He's gonna be forced out. He's got an arcane. He's got an Arcane Winter. That could be something, but there's a Blink and still a yet to have been used Ravage on 33. He might even hit level 2 Ravage.
Have we seen a Ravage?
No, we haven't. And this could be the moment now. Wants to at least clear this creep wave, I assume, to have a level 2 Ravage. But LGD not going to give him the opportunity. Nice preemptive disruption there used by Snaking. Heals as well coming on through to keep him topped up. Still holding on as well to the Healing Lotus. Oh, but couldn't use it fast enough. As it's going to be Planet who leaps in, finds that kill. Reactive Taser is going to force the kill to go towards Immersion. But it's Malrin who continues to chase. The Drums of Slum activated for new, so LGD starting to pick up the items here as they do use the Arcane Rune at least for a trade, a 1-for-1. That's something, Winter, for them.
Yeah, but unfortunately they're not as strong as Tundra in a head-up like fight against the Tide and the Timber. I think that's still pretty difficult for them. They're gonna need to get their BKBs, especially on the TA, before she can stand and deliver in the fights. As of right now, she's just not as useful in the team fights. You know, she just wants to be hitting creeps, getting more levels, and just trying to make Tundra respond to all this wave shuffling that she's doing.
Right. And now they will at least TP Snaking back to respond to the wave shoving. I think now that the natural ebb and flow that pros tend to farm the map in, I expect LGD to be kind of forced back from this top area. But with this Deso online now for LGD, especially with the Beastmaster auras, are you thinking Roche could be in the cards soon for LGD? Could that be a way for them back into this game to get a little bit more of a foothold here?
Yeah, if they get a kill, an important key pick off, I think they can just immediately go and do Roshan. But without a kill, it might be too risky. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to try sneak it right now.
Right. I mean, we still have a Ravage. Presumably, 33
Yeah.
eventually will use it. I mean, he hasn't had a great opportunity, right? That's not Flame, but...
He doesn't need to, you know?
Yeah.
They're already taking like the whole map without the Ravage. Like the Ravage is just there as a threat. Oh, we shouldn't fight them, they have Ravage. And then when do you fight them? You ask yourself this question.
Well, maybe they're not going to smoke it. They are looking for a pickoff, though. LGD smoking up in the river. 33 might be in the firing line for this.
What did they just buy? Why are they suddenly smoking? Did they just get a big item on somebody?
I don't really see one on the Storm, no. It's really just this Deso, but Shiro's going to break the smoke and continue farming.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they shouldn't be trying to fight right now. They need to farm BKB on TA.
Nothing to say. Going to be a bit annoying here to 33, but not really anything can be done, really, either one way or the other.
Whereas for Tundra, are they're gonna get what did they get on Berserker? Manta, Maelstrom, still needs to get BKB. Timbersaw has travels with the Octarine Call going for Heaven's Halberd, which is gonna
love that item.
Yeah, it's gonna nullify the TA later in the team fights.
Maybe even the Storm later, right? Could be effective against him, honestly.
True. And Tai is gonna build, wow, straight up a Hex right now.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't have a catch against the Storm, so you get the Hex.
Why, you smile, delete it, but hey, that's an arcane rune. Rune's just reset, so that could have been anything. What, 1 in 7 chance for that to be an arcane? Now I think if you're LGD, you're thinking, okay, Gaben's on our side a little bit here.
Is this
maybe we
useful now?
I think it has to be useful now. They're about to hit some pretty big item timings here on Tundra. BKB for Skitter is, I think, when Tundra are going to force a fight here, basically. If you're LGD, I suspect you're going to want to try and undercut that and maybe try and, you know, pick Roche up off the back end of that. It seems to make some amount of sense to me.
They're going to try to take the Tormentor, so who's going to get the shard? Oh, Takis gets the shard.
Reactive Taser, not bad. No latent toxicity, that's fine for now.
That's probably better, right? The latent toxicity in this game.
You think? I don't know. I think it's not bad against a Bloodseeker, right? Remove his ability to attack.
True. And right now, Tundra is attacking Roche. Don't think LGD can do anything to contest.
I don't think they can, Winter.
Wait, they're getting a Silver's Edge? Alright. On TA. So he's skipping BKB.
What do you think that's for? Is it for the
Just
Timber,
the
for the Tide?
Yeah, just the Tide. I mean, the Timber is like, if he already gets the stack, then you're not really removing the stacks, you know?
Right. Okay.
I mean, it's a good damage item. But then, can you do the damage if you don't have BKB in the fights?
He might get dove here. It's a risky play for nothing to make. Does have one hero in the way of support, and that's Planet. Snake King goes too far
greater
out.
healing Lotus.
Yeah, well, will he be able to get it off because they have chain stuns in the Techies' minds. Disruption in time.
It's a bait!
Winds being set off by everyone else. 33 once again doesn't need a Ravage. Nothing to say. With plenty of mana, with the Arcane, I don't think they catch him here, honestly, but that play, once again, not quite working out. Good reactions from Tundra.
Maybe it did work out. Because they forced so many heroes to TP top.
Okay.
And they only lost the support. I actually feel like that was actually a good play for LGD. They made a lot of space for the TA especially. And I'm glad he changed his mind.
Back to BKB. Why didn't you like the Silver Edge?
I think he needs the BKB. Then you can consider the Silver Edge later, you know. Because if you get the Silver Edge first, sure, you can break the Tide, but you cannot right-click him because you don't have BKB.
Right.
And maybe if you buy BKB first, you might have a chance to still deal enough damage to kill him in the fights. So then you can decide whether you still need Silver Edge later, you know. But it still gives you a chance to fight in a clash. But without the BKB, you literally can't stand and fight because you're gonna take too much damage from like Chakra, the Ravage, the Blinding Light in a team fight. It's just too many annoying spells.
Alright, almost blowing up the Veno. If only there was trees nearby, he would have gotten him. I get what you mean. You're saying that the Silver Edge is a good item, but he needs to get it later. BKB is the better item right now.
Yeah. At this level of Dota, like how you buy your items, the sequences can also change a lot of the game. So you have to make your decisions very, very carefully, especially when you're a core in this kind of games where there's a lot of things that you need to get, and planning the sequence and trying to plan it with your team so that the team understands your timings clearly is very, very crucial.
A very methodical game here, Winter. 11-5 LGD. You know, you have a Storm Spirit into a team that we've highlighted, by the way.
Have we seen a Ravage yet, by the way?
No, we haven't seen a Ravage, and we haven't really seen the Storm do much at all. He's got 2 assists. I mean, sure, that's almost half the amount on his team, but there's almost no catch for him. Oh,
Hex.
well, there's a Scythe of Ice, and there's going to be the Ravage. All right. I just had to say something, didn't I?
I mean, he's like, what the hell? The Tide has a Hex. Not sure if they needed the Ravage there, but you know, why not? You know, I haven't used the Ravage in 24 minutes.
Yeah. What are the chances he needs to even use that thing again, honestly? There goes the tower. Why not? We'll see it again. Hex into Ravage. Down he goes.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
And fairly easy there. That's only going to be nothing to say second death. Tundra will move on to take the outpost, and they're going to look to do other things on the map. I was just about to commend nothing to say, Winter. He's had a bit more, again, of a methodical game, right? Very technical game. Everyone looking to just get their items online, hit their power spikes, and fight from there. Shiro, he's accomplished that. I mean, sure, he has a Dessa with no charges, but a BKB with a 9-second charge on it ready to go. Why you smiling?
By the way, look at the wards and where the Venom's farming.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Ooh, Snaking can't get to him in time to cancel the TP.
I mean, this is what you should do. When the team is having a hard time, you steal the enemy's farm as a position fight.
That's what I'm saying. Look, Planet's even managed to find a good amount of farm. He's out farming a Coddle, which is pretty impressive, honestly.
How dare you out farm a Coddle?
Not allowed. That's illegal.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
But the farm, I know it's coming online for everyone. Why you smile? You know, respectfully close for a Veno 5 to that Ag Scepter, which, you know, gives him a whole new purpose in this life, in death, I suppose, I should say. There's a BKB now for New and Shiro. Well, with his BKB active, oh, he might need to use that now and does. Oh, still ruptured up, looking for the TP out. No basher quite yet. Is going to complete the TP. New with the roar. Actually wanted to get a bit of the drums of Slam damage in, but is now running for his life. Looking to turn. Now is Skitter. Pops the match style. Might have kept him alive. Now is New forced to BKB and TP. Then turn tail. Skitter getting out. Is had Aegis.
He finds Storm.
Oh,
Hex.
And the Hex again from 33. No Ravage to follow up this time. There's nothing to say with a big old zip and another one. It should make it out in time. But kind of scary for him there to once again get caught out by that Scythe of Ice. Fortunately, he does have the Sanj, which is going to reduce that stun duration or effective stun duration. Malin with another kill there on Why You Smile. I mean, LGD, they're forcing rotations, man. They're forcing a lot of rotations.
I mean, it's the TA ready to fight right now. She has BKB, but it just feels like she still needs the silver. Yeah, she's still going for the silver's edge to allow her to burst and kill the Tide. Because the Tide is like, I don't think they can kill the Tide if you don't get a silver edge on the TA. They just can't get through the Kraken shell.
And that damage block's going to be just a bit too annoying. I mean, already 33. He's already kind of a high priority target, isn't he? He's kind of the only one who can set things up onto the Storm Spirit with that Scythe of Ice.
Yeah,
He's got a target painted on his back.
Here comes the LGD. They're going to try to get a pick off. They're going to run into Snaking again.
Yeah, does purge himself, but the damage is significant, to say the least, not from Shiro. He's finally wet the Desolator. 2 stacks of bonus damage on that thing now. As LGD, for the first time this game, Winter, looking to play as 5. Eager to fight. They've got the Ag Scepter as well online for the Storm Spirit, so he's got the budget Black Hole on the Electric Vortex. That thing's not bad at all, especially once you get your Shard, you hit your 25 talent, you're looking at plenty of damage. Malrin is just going to scare everyone off. Okay, the Roar is in. LGD not really in sync on that by the looks of things, Winter. They're going to be forced back now.
That's not a fight you want to take. Go on the Timber and you don't see the Tide and you run in. Oops, everybody gets ravaged. GG.
That's right. I think good patience by Shiro to identifying that and not going in. Why you smile. Dropping the Plague Wards on his way out, but is going to be victim at number 2. Actually, Mallory not even hitting him with the Scythe of Ice. Didn't even give him the mercy of looking into his eyes as he takes him down. That's a TP out from Planet. Nope, canceled by the Illuminative Immersion as he picks up the kill there. That was a Rupture used, I have to say. So Tundra playing without that one, but still plenty of other ultimates, and LGD without supports. Once again, back into farming mode. TPs, though, out from Tundra. The Scythe Device, #1, connects onto New. Scythe Device, #2, into the Meteor Hammer. Will they commit the Ravage? No. But New has got pretty much nowhere to go. Looking for the TP out. The Drums of Slam almost kept him alive, but he is cut down before he can make it out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like LGD, they need to try to plan and come up with something, you know. They can't just keep dodging the whole game. At some point, you're going to need to fight. And oh my god, he didn't He didn't see the Timber coming in.
No, he didn't. Big ol' zip. Look, they're trying to cut him off, Winter Skitter. Oh, can't quite find him. I was going to say calculating that perfectly, just kind of barely getting up to the cliff. That would have been disastrously.
He's lucky. I don't think he calculated that.
Well, maybe not so lucky as 33 using the Ravage on a 0-mana Storm Spirit just to make sure he can't go anywhere. You never know.
And Roche is going to have a chance of spawning right now. Let's see. This is going to be... I think it's going to be important for LGD if they don't give up this Roche. I think they shouldn't give up this Roche. So they have 20 seconds, unfortunately. It's going to be a quick one.
Yeah, and it is going to spawn top. Unfortunately, then it'll immediately move down bottom, where, of course, Tundra have that permanent outpost. No Techie's Mines, no wards set up for either team.
Yeah, I'm glad that you actually brought that up, you know. I think that sometimes it doesn't get highlighted enough when the Roshan gets spawned towards bottom. Like, the Raiden can always abuse, like, the buybacks to win the Rosh fight. And for Dire, it's the top side, you know. So, like, a lot of these things, the players plan a lot. Day and night cycles, and especially not just for the vision, like for example when you have a Beastmaster, you want to fight during the daytime, so you get better vision with the Hawk, but also you have to consider the Roche positions with the outpost.
Yep, Roche coming through the Twin Gate now. He's already alive. Roche #2. Of course, he's carrying just the Aegis and Cheese. Tundra with not a whole lot of vision around this bottom side of the map either, though. They've on their most recent expedition, have planted a pretty aggressive ward in front of the tier 2 tower, and they've got another ward in the triangle of LGD. They may have spotted that smoke with it, though. Silver Edge is complete now from Shiro, so LGD, they have a path to winning these team fights, Winter.
I mean, I'm not sure. There's 2 Halberds. They have a Halberd on Tide.
And 2 Scythes.
Yeah, I feel like they just have 2...
Oh, here we go. There's Scythe #1. Halberd as well. Not quite well utilized yet in the break. Onto 33. Did not get the Ravage out and will not. Down he goes. New ruptured in response is now Malrin kicking things off with his own Scythe Device. Zip on through and he's got the kill. Planet swinging a miss there on the blast off as they're on to Shiro. He's trying to turn and fight through this one. Actually getting some good physical damage now onto Malrin as he's forced to Timber Chain out, but Skitter on top of his man now. The dust is going to be applied
another Halberd.
Oh, goodness, the Halberds and even the Blinding Light there not allowing any auto attacks out from Shiro. Malrin quick the TP away as there's going to be a 2-man Vortex, but it's Skitter who's collecting kills on the back line, finds Planet, turning back now for the kill onto Why You Smile. That will get him Noxious Plagued up, but his target is the only man he's got in his eyes is Nothing to Say, who's a bit too zippy for him. Away he goes, Winter. A pretty nice start to that fight for LGD, honestly, managing to find the break onto the Tidehunter, but just once it goes longer than their BKBs, the fights looked pretty easy for Tundra.
I mean, that's a very, very bad news for LGD. You still lost the fight even though the Tide didn't cast the Ravage. I mean, that is very, very bad news for you. I mean, also the pipe on the Shadow Demon, keeping everyone alive in the team fight, blocking a lot of the magic damage from the Storm, the Techies, the Venom. MVP item for the SD.
I think for me, I was, I don't know. For me, I think 33, he's taken a pact of, Snaking almost dying to Roche, almost. Snaking's taking a pact of only ravaging one hero at a time. He won't want to do it for clumped up groups. He's doing I
don't want to make the game too easy for my team, you know? I just want to ravage one hero.
Come on, Skitter. I'm not ravaging them all for you. You got to get on top of them with your just thirst move speed. Can't make it too easy for him. I mean, and so far, I mean, you know, it's still looking great for Tundra in that fight. They turn things around, like you say, the aura items being built by a couple of the supports, Immersion with the Force, with the Glimmer, Snaking with the drums and the pipe, going back now for his own Ghost Scepter.
I like the casual Wraith Band.
Ooh, and that's Blood Mist finished up now by Skitter. Yeah, get used to seeing that Overshields online for him. He's going to be able to use them to set off the mines safely. 33, do you expect any deviation from his play style now that that Silver Edge is in play? Or do you think it's going to be more of the same, just standing out front and relying on the four staffs, the glimmers, the disruptions to, you know, survive the break, essentially?
I mean, that's probably what he should do. Like, I don't think he's that worried about the Silver Edge when you have a Shadow Demon to just protect you. You have the Blinding Light, you have the Force Staff, you have Glimmer, you have Pipe. They just have too many ways of saving their team.
Well,
And
that's
if,
where
and,
this...
Yeah, and if you're LGD, you have to try to make sure that you get to the backlines right away.
Ooh. I was about to say, right, that's where the Storm comes into play, but just look how aggressive they can be now. Noxious Plague on death from Why You Smile at least gives him some reason to maybe smile every single time you die, but
They
his
can
seventh
only
death-
hold high ground right now.
Yeah.
They can't fight outside of the base.
There's no Blink Dagger yet on this Shadow Demon, right? Yeah, it's going to be the next item for Snake King. So at least for now, when they do look to push on second Aegis, you know, reaching the backliners, especially on the Storm Spirit, is not impossible. But they have nullified one of your biggest advantages here, which is, of course, the vision. Oh, you're forced to TP away. Good BKB TP, wasting absolutely no time there, forcing the rotation
How
of
many
33.
times has he BKB TP this game?
I believe 3 times. I think at least that's thrice now we've seen it.
That is not good, man. This is not why you get BKB on this hero. They haven't really found a good way of taking a good fight with the Raw into the TA bursting someone. They need to try to go in at the same time and ideally kill either the Kotal or the Shadow Demon first.
Right. I think Shadow Demon's got to go, man. He's #1 in my book. Public enemy.
Yeah, Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon is public enemy #1 for LGD.
And Malrin is Chakram #2 because he has level 25 already. TPing away at the start of this fight. That could be an opening, especially with nothing to say, finding at least a little bit of initiation, but it's a little bit lackluster, honestly.
Oh, they
And
found
Shiro,
SD.
He just cannot fight into this. They are onto the Shadow Demon at the very least, but Shiro in trouble. The Hex, as his BKB doesn't last long enough. 33 hit him with the Hex and then turned around to fight anyone else. But because of the debuff immunity changes, Winter, and the BKB not lasting long enough, his BKB canceled.
Yeah, that's probably game for LG. I think that's the nail in the coffin. You know, they're gonna not able to defend the high ground here. Maybe lose one set of racks. The game might not end right away, but at this point, you're like a walking dead. You know, you're just waiting for the game to end. You know, there's not much you can do.
It feels kind of bad, you know. This reminds me of one of those games where Malrin just looking for kills relentlessly. By the way, as he's going to push another wave.
This is, by the way, of overall first pick Timbersaw. By the way,
that's right. That's right.
This is crazy, man. And the way Tundra itemized on each and every single one of the players is just amazing. Yeah? Like the selection of items that they went for, how they abuse it in the game to hit specific timings. I really enjoyed the double Hex, the double Halberds.
And I mean, talk about a free game for Skitter as well, right? Like basically no pressure ever for him. He's so
Did he
flawless,
even
8-0-7.
needed to live like anything at all this game? It felt like so easy for the
I think
Berserker.
he needed it coming for the damage. This is the dream carry game, you know, where they have the gall to type GG easy at the end. And in fairness, it was for him because Malrin did so much heavy lifting here.
Yeah, the Tide and the Timbersaw just... I felt like both of them carried the game so hard.
What's painful as well for LGD, especially for nothing to say, I've got to, you know, commiserate with him. Because it's like you play this game where you do a great job cutting waves, you force back these rotations, and then just your opponents, they itemize against your style, and you're just a little bit... Your team just can't connect with you in the fights. It's not coming together here. LGD, they're pushing off the high ground, which this is bold, especially into Aegis. And now, potentially without Why You Smile, though, a stun now onto at least the Timbersaw. He's falling low, but the save not in place, actually. The disruption is still keeping him alive. Unbelievable. How? The blast off, still not enough damage. Malrin still fighting the dudes, and there's going to be a big ol' Ravage onto 4. This has to be it now for LGD. The nails being driven into the coffin one by one as Shiro makes it out alive, but 2 buybacks reinforced immediately. That's 4 on that electric vortex. Oh, but it's still just not enough, and still even more insults is that Malrin remains alive. They force him away as he TPs on home to safety. Shiro blinking into his death as he tried to at least finish off the Timbersaw. Can't get the job done. LGD, they're going to force the GG as Tundra Esports take him down in game #1.
I mean, what a game by Tundra. I thought the main difference maker is like the first pick Timber didn't really get countered. He had like a close to perfect game, and then the Beastmaster, he wasn't able to do a lot to dictate the game, you know. Like we didn't really see like the Beastmaster moving his team to a position on the map and using the Hawk and winning a team fight with a raw initiation, and you burst them with the TA or the Storm. You know, that